Hello everyone, and welcome to this first look of the M-2000C for DCS World by RAZBAM. In this pre-alpha version, we'll take a look at some of the basic features and then take off from the beautiful Nellis Air Force Base and fly around a bit. Let's first go ahead and latch the canopy. With that done, I'll take you on a little tour around the cockpit. This is the engine startup and control panel that we'll use to get this bird up and running. Above it are the interior light controls. This is the PSM MIP navigation control head. And this is our TACAN VOR/ILS control head. Above it is the electronic warfare panel. And above that is our INS navigation system. The large panel here is the electrical power control panel, as well as our caution and warning advisory lights. Now here we have our fuel panel, our fuel flow indication, our engine and engine heat indication, as well as afterburner light. This is our G meter, our radar warning receiver, our HSI, and this is one of the weapon panels. This is the heads-up display, or the HUD, the HUD control panel, the radar display and controls, and the IFF panel. On the left side of the front dash, we have the following: the angle of attack indicator, the autopilot lights, the attitude direction indicator, ADI, the vertical velocity indicator, the airspeed indicator, the altimeter, the standby ADI, another weapons control panel, a clock, and a countermeasure control panel. Let's take a moment and watch a couple of the M-2000Cs taxi by. RAZBAM did an amazing job on the model. I think I'll also agree that the cockpit of the M-2000C that RAZBAM put together is top-notch. Now getting back to it, these are your two radios with the landing gear and air brake control above it, the autopilot control panel, the radar control panel, your audio level panel, and your fly-by-wire system panel. So that's a little overview of the cockpit. Let's go ahead and take a break and we'll watch a couple of these aircraft take off. We'll also use this time to close the canopy all the way. Alright, let's get this aircraft started by first going to the engine control panel and select the vent switch, then the starter pump switch, open the cover, and press the starter button. We'll now go ahead and monitor our engine RPM, as you can see here. And I'll go ahead and enable the battery. And when the engine RPM reaches 20, we'll go ahead and enable the alternators. 1, 2, 3. While the engine's spooling up, I'll turn on the radar display, and I'll come up here to the HUD control panel and I'll turn on the HUD. Now coming back to my RPM, I'm waiting for it to idle at 67. So the engine's at idle now, so I can go back and turn off the vent switch, close the cover, and turn off the starter pump. Let's go back to the radar control panel. With the switch here, I can enable waterline. Looking at the HUD, I have my airspeed and Mach here, my barometric altitude here, my heading tape between the two, my total velocity vector, my horizon line, and pitch ladder. Now, in addition to the barometric altitude displayed here, I can also display a radar altitude, and below that I can display the hard deck. Now, using the switch here, I can go ahead and turn the radar altimeter on. With the dial next to it, I can dial in the hard deck. In this case, I'll dial in about 90. I'll start giving it some gas now, indicated by the fuel flow indication on the right side in green. In external here, you can see the nose wheel steering wheel. I'm taxiing to the active runway now, which will give us a south-north takeoff. What you're seeing in today's video is a standard flight model. However, RAZBAM is hard at work on a much more advanced external flight model. What are those F5s doing there? I'm ready to take off now, so I'll increase to afterburner, and at about 120, I'll rotate such that the bottom line with the little line above it will superimpose over the horizon line. As long as I keep increasing speed, the aircraft will fly off the runway very nicely. Now airborne, I'll go ahead and raise the landing gear. And we can see the new effect of the afterburner blow inside the tank. I'll come back south now and overfly the speedway and then back over Nellis. You may have noticed two small triangles pointing at each other on the HUD. Those are your energy chevrons and indicate whether or not your aircraft is accelerating or decelerating. I'm departing Nellis now, and I'll go ahead and fly over northern Vegas, particularly on the eastern side. I'll also start bringing it down low. You may have also noticed the green numbers just to the left of the HUD control panel. Those are your radio frequencies. And with that, we'll end this first look at the M-2000C for DCS World by RAZBAM, and we sincerely hope that you've enjoyed what you've seen so far.